Well, Igor, fighting in a UFC event here in Croatia, I got to believe it's a special time for you.
Yeah, of course it's special. When I first came in UFC, there was always talking about when UFC is going to come to Croatia. At that time, Croatia was there, and I said everybody was expecting to come UFC here. But at that time, Europe was on the side, and everybody was waiting. Only London and Germany was on the card for UFC. So last 2 years. There was talking about UFC coming to Zagreb, and so finally UFC is here. I got new contract, so dream come true.
What's it going to be like on Fight Night? I mean, obviously you've been in the UFC before, but managing your emotions. I mean, is it a good thing to have that emotion in such a special night, or do you have to be careful not to let it get to you?
I'm a professional. I fought in Croatia before. I fought in UFC on hostile other countries, so it's not going to affect emotionally on me. I'm always prepared. I'm a professional. Of course, I'm noticing everything what is around me, but I'm always focused on my opponent and on my corner.
Since you left the UFC, you've gone on a 3-fight winning streak. What's been the key to your success? What have you changed or doing differently that got you those wins?
I changed my team. Now I'm American Top Team Europe. I have new coaches. I brought my wrestling back. So because I was coming from wrestling, then because I didn't know how to box, I took boxing coach, and I put that wrestling aside. And all those fights that I lost in UFC, I lost, on control and wrestling and stuff like that. So I brought wrestling back. So that brought me confidence.
When you were released from the UFC, did you know that you'd be back, or was there maybe some doubt or some thoughts that you could make it back to the UFC?
No, I know I could be back because there was a couple of examples, fighters who, Mike Swick and other fighters who get back in UFC. As soon as I lost the fight in Sao Paulo against De Lima, I sat down and said, okay, what do I have to do to get back as soon as possible? And immediately I found myself in new fights, and everything was, quickly, and a year, so that's quick.
Talk about your opponent. Obviously, he's accomplished a lot over here in Europe. You familiar with him, and what do you think about him?
Of course, I know Jan for a long time. We should fight some 9 years ago in Slovenia. Then he canceled the fight, but from then I'm tracking all his fights. Some of them I watch them live. I know his advantages. I know his mistakes. I have more fights in UFC, more fights in general. So I'm more complete in any aspect of the game.
Talk about your expectations now that you're back in the UFC. What are your goals and what do you hope to accomplish?
My goal is to get contender fight. I'm not, it's too much to talk about the belts and everything, If I have a chance to fight for the contender fight, that's it. And then from then, everything is possible.